This comes to us from MightyKeef, who, if you're not familiar with this person, he has a fairly large YouTube channel that I could even argue some of his skits are mildly entertaining. It could even be funny at times. But my goodness, his takes on social media are so brain dented bad that I wonder if this guy has a mental issue. Like, genuinely. He says, Charlie Kirk was a very evil man. This is, by the way, before I even go further, not even 24 hours after the dude got his life ended. That's a YouTube friendly way of saying what I wanted to say. To start off a tweet with that is so scummy. It's so disgusting and disturbing and gross and brazen from these people on this side of the fence that they feel so free to just be like, hey, what are you going to do to me, bro? I can say whatever the hell I want, which to his credit, sure, you can say what you want, Keith, and we can talk about it and expose it and show the world who you really are. Charlie Kirk was a very evil man. He spent most of his career dividing this country with race-baiting rhetoric, defending PDFs, and advocating for genocide, which, first off, bro, source? Because holy shit, way to speak ill of the dead before his body's even cold and not show anything to prove what you're saying. Just spewing hate. What you're doing for a dude that was a stand-up husband, father of 2 beautiful kids, a great nuclear family. By all accounts, anyone who's ever interacted with him called him one of the nicest people they ever were able to interact with. Very down-to-earth person. And all he did was go to college campuses to talk to people, to find out. And I'm not even boiling it down to something. This is not like describe a movie badly. It's like, that's what he did. He would go to a college campus and talk to people about politics, yes, which can be divisive, but he would talk to them. He'd be like, here's why I feel the way I do. Why do you feel the way you do? Okay, let's have a conversation. Here's why I think you're wrong. Now you tell me why you think I'm wrong. Welcome to how a conversation converses. That's kind of how it works. That doesn't make him an evil man. That doesn't make him a career of dividing the country. You could almost argue, actually, that it's the opposite of dividing the country. It's bringing the country together by extending his arm across the aisle and saying, hey, I want to find out where you're coming from. I want to talk to you about where that's coming from, and let's try to make sense of it. I don't know how that divides the country, but again, if you are dented in the head, then you might have some hard times understanding this. I will be honest and say it's hard to find sympathy for a person who didn't even see me as human, which this sounds to me like someone who has taken a clip out of context, run with it to the point of convincing himself that Charlie Kirk was the worst person in the world based off of a 5-second sound clip or something like that has zero context. Because I have not seen any full clips of Charlie Kirk that would make me think, oh, wow, yeah, that really changes my mind on him. Like, no, he was a guy that had opinions. That's the same as me. That's the same as you, MightyKeef. You have opinions too, which you're welcome to have them. But holy shit, bro, this is crazy what you're saying. I don't think murder is ever the right course of action, though. I will not miss Charlie Kirk, but I don't think he deserved to die. Well, how kind of you to finally find time to be somewhat empathetic to this dude. 3 paragraphs in after you set the floor saying he's a very evil man and talk about all this awful shit that you say he did. Hopefully this country will one day come together instead of feeding into the division most political commentators and figureheads spew out. Ain't nobody wanting to come together with someone who does this. I even quote tweeted this and said, I'm done with this guy. I said, I had a feeling that this post yesterday was him testing the waters. And that's this post here. Twitter is about to be insane today. This was like 20 minutes after the news broke. And I screenshot this because I'm like, yep, we got one. This guy, he's going to say something really stupid. I saw that. This is someone testing the waters, dipping their toes in to be like, is it safe for me to say something crazy? Yeah, is it safe? Okay. To see if it was safe to dive in with what he was really thinking. This MightyKeef dude is a real piece of shit. Done trying to understand and accept different points of views. F these people. And I follow that up with Charlie Kirk wanted to have conversations, open a dialogue, help people help themselves. Mighty Keef, he spent most of his life dividing the country. No, bro. He made communists and Marxists look retarded. You took that personally. Self-reflect. And this got replied to by Asmongold. And he said, this is just my opinion. But with all of the unhinged psychotic posts celebrating the shooting, Keef doesn't seem that crazy. We shouldn't expect people to make the guy out to be a saint if they didn't like him, and he clearly states what he was done is wrong. Bigger fish to fry, in my humble opinion. And I'm like, okay, I feel like if you did not know the person you're dealing with, like I know Keef, I've had interactions with him before in the past. I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, this was the breaking point for me. I feel like, and I'm not sure, I don't want to speak for Asmongold here, but I feel like he doesn't know Mighty Keef as well as I did. And he's trying his best to give him the benefit of the doubt right now. And I'm like, bro, that was me like a year ago with this guy. I'm like, nope, I can't do it anymore with him. This is who we're dealing with. I said, the problem, in my humble opinion, isn't whether people saw him as a saint. It's that they're kicking a man while his family is in mourning, saying he didn't deserve to die while still calling him evil and justifying the hate just adds fuel to the ongoing fire. That's not bigger fish to fry to me. That's exactly part of why the culture feels so completely broken right now. Sir D, he didn't even really say he didn't deserve to die. It was more like he didn't deserve to die, but his entire post was just a thinly veiled justification for why people decided to murder him. It was a complete and utter bad faith, disingenuous attempt to make himself look big, virtuous by extending an olive branch. No fucking shit murder is bad, you brain dead monkey. And the same dehumanizing rhetoric you, Mighty Queef, used in your post to write off everything Kirk's ever said with some sort of ism is exactly what was used as a justification to murder him. And you know that. This is what's dividing us. People like Mighty Keef are what's dividing us, not Charlie Kirk. Couldn't have said it better myself, by the way. Banger reply. And there's a lot of people in the replies that are saying that it was a Asmongold L. Jeremy, DDayCobra, this Keef dude would never give you that same courtesy. Smash JT is absolutely correct. No more middle ground anymore. We're sick of this shit. Emerald Apple, of course there are bigger fish to fry. There are always bigger fish to fry. But when people like Keef within the gaming spaces does this, it contaminates the community. We can't coexist with people who not only justify killing people, but also kill us too. Madam Savvy, it's that he calls him very evil and then ends it with, but come together. He slipped. You don't come together with evil. You avoid it or kill it. He is glad this happened. He thinks we are all evil, all Nazi. He wants us all dead over differing opinions or for daring to expose the gaming industry corruption. We fry the big and small fish to prevent them from breeding further insanity. Banger reply. And shout out to the community for coming to my aid on this one, because I'm like, damn, when Asmongold comes down, I'm like, fucking better bring your A game, because I wasn't expecting an Asmongold reply to my post. That was definitely something. But we also have DDayCobra, who addressed this on his stream earlier today, and I wanted to share this with you guys to hear it from his mouth, what he had to say about this.
I've been seeing a lot of this from people on the left, like right here. So Asmongold was responding to Smash JT in my tweet. So Smash JT posted this right here. This tweet from the Mighty Keef, who is, I mean, look, man, I don't know if people watch his channel, they follow him. That's totally fine with me. You're welcome to do whatever you want. I personally think he's one of the least interesting human beings I've ever seen on YouTube. But he says Charlie Kirk was a very evil man. That's how he started this out.
Crazy.
He says Charlie Kirk was a very evil man.
The dude had a beautiful wife, 2 beautiful kids, his life completely put together and making a massive difference in pushing America forward. Starts it out with, Like the dude who was just literally fucking assassinated not even a day ago. Charlie Kirk was a very evil man. Man, fuck you. Like, that pissed me off. Just that first line. I don't even care. Like, my brain is just like, I don't care what you're trying to justify this shit with afterwards. Like, fuck you for saying that.
He spent most of his career dividing this country with race-baiting rhetoric, defending PDF files, and advocating for genocide. I will be honest and say it's hard to find sympathy for a person who didn't see me as a human. I don't think murder is even the right course of action, though. I will not miss Charlie Kirk, but I don't think he deserved to die. This is the most passive-aggressive leftist bullshit I have ever heard.
It really is.
Hopefully this country one day will come together instead of feeding into the division most political commentators and figureheads spew out. So anyway, Asmongold.
I love his reaction. It's just like, I can't with this shit. That's great.
Responds to Smash JT and he says, this is just my opinion, but of all the unhinged psychotic posts celebrating the shooting, Keefe doesn't seem that crazy. We should expect people to make the guy out to be, shouldn't expect people to make the guy out to be a saint if they didn't like him. And he clearly states what was done is wrong. Bigger fish to fry, in my opinion. I completely disagree with everything Asmongold said. So I said, this dude called Charlie Kirk evil. He called him evil after he was assassinated, and then says, hopefully we can come together. I refuse to unite with people that hate me and want me dead. Fuck that.
I
refuse.
This. Yep.
I agree with Smash JT, with everything Smash JT said. Absolutely incredible that somebody like, how can you say that?
Crazy. I mean, to give Asmongold benefit of the doubt, like, I know he's going through a lot of shit right now. His dad in the hospital, and he's probably just trying to keep the peace with everyone. Be like, I get it, bro, but you can't keep the peace with people that are promoting other people to murder other people. I'm sorry, we cannot come together with that. We have reached an impasse. I'm sorry. There's nothing more to add to the situation. You don't break bread with someone that wants you dead. Like, sorry, you can't mix those ingredients. Are a poisonous mix. That's why communism will not work in America. Communists need to get out of America instead of trying to continue to push it. And it seems to be stemming from the Democratic Party. This comes to us from Kangman Lee, who says, MightyKeef is actually one of the most disgusting, cowardly people on the internet. A soulless, mindless insect with no principles or convictions, trying to have the appearance of neutrality, but sucking the teat of his liberal overlords and kowtowing to his left-wing audience. Charlie Kirk was not an evil man. He was a good man, and infinitely more of a man than you'll ever be, MightyKeef. You claim that Charlie spews division, but then go on to slander him and claim the most egregious things about him. And that's all you can do, because when you can't debate or defend your beliefs, you have to resort to petty lies or subversive tactics like this to make yourself feel better. Just like how you blocked me and ran away last year after realizing you had no idea what you were talking about. And again, I've had many people tell me that MightyKeef was a piece of shit. Like, don't ever interact with him. Just stay away from him. And I used to be the kind of guy that was like, yeah, I'll try to get along and just get along to go along with people. I was pretty fucking clueless when it came to that kind of stuff. I really was. In a weird way. I saw what Tectone said about the Charlie Kirk situation. He's like, I feel like I'm becoming radicalized. I'm like, that whole situation, I'm like, it made me reevaluate how I approach this shit. That moment yesterday, I'm just like, nope, not anymore. This is different going forward. And that moment is what changed everything. So no, fuck these people, fuck communists and Marxism, fuck that all the way to fuck all. Get it out of this country. It will not work. These people are the enemy. They absolutely are. And they need to not be part of this country. They are destroying America. And people are afraid to say that because, like, oh, is that a threat against these people? It's like, It's the fucking truth. It's reality. This is it. This is the moment to showcase that for all to see. They literally just fucking murdered someone. Someone who did nothing wrong. The whole situation just, it really sets me off. So while I can appreciate Asmongold coming down from his post to talk to lowly me and say, hey, bro, it's just his opinion, but we got bigger fish to fry. I disagree. I feel like we need to call this shit out no matter who it is moving forward. Be like, nope, I don't care if you're a nobody or a massive channel. I'm going to say, if that's something that's an awful thing to say, I'm going to call it out and be like, that's awful. I don't care. And oh, by the way, bigger fish to fry. MightyKeef is a pretty big channel. 655,000 subscribers. This guy's got over 500,000 subscribers. And Asmongold saying we got bigger fish to fry. I'm like, bro, how big of a fish do you want to fry? This guy is massive. what the hell? What are we doing here? None of this makes any sense at all. Don't defend him. Don't fence sit this. Take a stand. Be like, fuck this. No, I'm calling this shit out. Why is that hard to do? But yeah, that's the MightyKeef situation. And again, most people seem to be on my side with this that I've seen in the community. So shout out to everyone for that. At the same time, and this might sound pretty bad to say, but it's like, I don't care if people disagreed with me on it. I'm just like, this is one of those stances that I have where I'm just like, this is how I feel about it. I'm going to say it. If people disagree with me, oh well. I don't expect everyone to agree with everything that I say, but yeah, I got big issues with that. So yeah, that is the MightyKeef situation. And oh, by the way, it doesn't even end there. By the way, there's more that happened after that whole situation. He started sharing Endemion's DMs, which is a whole nother situation that I can't even with this guy. Hey, Endemion, you slimy fucking coward. Since you want to lie on my name, why don't we show what really happened in DMs? How I tried to start a dialogue, man to man, about our gaming and political differences, which, by the way, this is the same shit he pulled with me like a year ago when he disagreed with me on something. He reached into my DMs and was like, hey, man, let's chat about this. I was like, oh, okay. Like, this guy actually wants to break bread and chat. You know, I was open to it. Little did I know, innocent Smash JT back then, where I'm like, oh no, this is all part of his plan. This is how he operates with people. He says some really stupid shit, then he jumps into their DMs to try to smooth things over. And you sent me a wall of text instead of us having an actual conversation, which, by the way, this ended up being like the biggest self-own I have seen on Twitter/X in years. Like, he posted all of the DMs with them. And at the end of the day, it just makes MightyKeef look terrible because all the DMs show is Endemion saying, yeah, I like video games, bro. This is, by the way, this all started after I quote tweeted him. Then Endemion quote tweeted saying Charlie Kirk was actually trying to build a bridge to bridge the divide, to have conversations with extremists like yourself. Although it's not surprising you would spit on someone's grave considering your past takes. I'll also never forget you DMing me, trying to buddy with me because I cooked you so hard during Gamergate 2. You tried to be friendly, so I would leave you alone. You're a terrible person, and I have zero sympathy for you. Also, your comedy sucks balls. I don't know. I find his comedy, it's all right. Like, if I can separate the art from the artist, does it make me like roll on the floor laughing? No. But I get some chuckles out of it here and there. I haven't watched it forever, though. I barely remember any of it. But that was the situation with MightyKeef sharing all the DMs between him and Endemion. And again, this is Endemion. This doesn't expose anything about him except him saying he does this because he really loves video games and wants to save gaming. There's no like grift here. There's no secret. This is all DM's private conversation where he's like, gaming is fucked now. Gamergate 2 is changing things. Don't worry about me and my buddies. We'll sort this out. He's talking about how he loves gaming. It's crazy to me. I want to save this medium we all love. Everything else comes secondary to that. How the fuck is this an own? You're showcasing that Endymion stands by what everyone thinks he stands by. This is not him being like, oh man, I hope people don't figure out that I'm grifting off this shit or something like that. It's like, no, this is his passion. It's crazy. And I replied to Mighty Keef with, oh, by the way, he kept going with all these DMs. It just blew the whole load of DMs over and over. I said, what an incredible self-own way to tell the world not to ever converse with you in good faith. This is embarrassing. Like, you don't do this. You don't share DMs of someone unless it's like a massive gotcha where you just have to prove to people like, oh, this happened. Here's proof of it that he is lying about or something like that. That's the only time where it might be potentially acceptable if you're being accused of something by the person that DM'd you something different. Then I could see a justification for it. But just so flippantly, so quick to share them all. And it's like not even an own. It's a self-own on yourself. Now people know it's like, oh, you're the kind of guy that at the drop of a hat, you will share DMs with someone that you disagree with. Oh, remind me never to fucking talk to you in DMs ever because I can't trust you at all, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, that's the Mighty Keef situation. And I think if Asmongold had more information on this guy, he'd probably have a different opinion on the situation. But I will leave that one there.